Hello and welcome back to Bean Dreams, where I talk about the dream that I had the night before. So, sorry. My eye is itchy. Okay. So the dream that I had the night before, I remember I was like playing video games on a couch with someone, and it was what do you call it? Lego based world. And I don't remember much about the video game itself. I want to say maybe it was kind of like a Ratchet and Clank type deal where it was just like you were facing random monsters in arenas, and that's more PS2 version versus I haven't played the PS5 version, but I played the PS4 version. So it's not like the PS4 version. I would say it's more like the PS2 version, where you're more going into arenas and fighting people and doing that. And then I remember like she had stopped the game and she's like, oh, we need like a health power up or whatever. And I was like, okay. And she's like, come with me. So we go so we're like in this like living room basically. So we go out of the living room, and out of the living room is like outside basically. So we're going outside, and I was like, what the heck are you doing? Like, where are we going? What? And she's like, oh, to power up, we need to go to the garage over here, which was more like a giant shed. But anyhow, so we go into this like garage shed type deal, and she's like working on this computer. And she's like, okay, yep, we have our power up. We can go back. And I was like, what do you mean we can go? What is happening? And she's like, oh yeah, like this is like part of the video game. You can just kind of, it was something to do with like if you go to like a separate computer or something like that, or like put your wrist on this like computer thing that you can, like you actually have a health bar or something like that. It was like the video game and you were like linked together. And I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. We're just playing like a Lego game. And then I remember when we were going back, she was like running like super fast. And I was like, dude, like slow down. Like I can't keep up. And she's like, oh yeah, this is like a part of the game. So you know how like you press like X to like run faster in the game. She's like, if you just hold your like hand out, basically, she's like, you can like run super fast. And I was like, she's like, you realize you're like still connected to the game, right? And I was like, wait, what? And so I'm trying this, and I was like, oh, you can go faster. And then I did it. I took my hand and I like put it up to the air, or not to the air, to the sky, sorry. And I was like, I wonder if I could fly this way. And so I started like trying to walk up towards the sky, and I was actually like flying, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And she was like, oh, I didn't realize you could do that. And I was like, yeah. And so I ended up climbing up this like tree basically by doing that. Like I kind of like stuck my hand like towards the top of the tree, and I got like halfway, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to wrap around. And I remember seeing it was so pretty. I remember looking down, and we were like on this mountain, and you could see like the other mountains, and you could see this like huge valley, and then you could see there was two castles off in the distance. So one to like the far left and one to the far right of me, and like down below was like the valley and everything. And it was so pretty. And I remember wishing like the two castles were abandoned so we could like fly over there and actually look inside, but there was like events going on, and you could see like weddings were going on, so cars were everywhere trying to rush to the castle and all this other stuff. And so I was like, man, everything's so pretty. I want to like see like, you know, what it looks like from like the top of the castle, and I want to look inside the castle because I'm sure it's super pretty and everything. And yeah, that was the dream.